Good afternoon, it's Bobby Lee from Hurricane Creek Farms. You may be able to appreciate kind of a cloudy, overcast day, expecting another round of severe weather, severe thunderstorms, possibly tornadoes. So we've got a lot of things to do, and I'm not really sure how long we're gonna have to get it all done. Hoping for a couple of hours, because we got a bunch like typical. But anyway, appreciate y'all watching. Give the video a thumbs up if you would. Subscribe if you haven't. We're gonna get after it. And we just got back from the feed store, and look, finally got us a big order of mineral in, so we should be in pretty good shape for a little while. Got some of the Conceptaid heat that we'll be putting out for the cows. They do have the Conceptaid tubs as well currently out. Got some just plain high mag, yeah, that we'll put out for the stockers. We'll switch them over to Vitafirm as well here pretty soon, after we go through the little bit of high mag we have left. But we're gonna get loaded up, head to the other farm, feed those stocker steers, try to rotate pastures on them too if possible. Start on this end. Pull that black tab. Pull the black piece. There you go, rip it. Rip the string. There you go. All right, you got it open. All right, here's real muddy over here, so I'll go. Plenty of mineral in there. We're gonna go see if we can find these boys. The thunder is starting to roll. We might not beat the rain entirely, but really want to move them into this pasture. Again, kind of is what we'll call the yeah, Dukes of Hazzard style in the window. But yeah, so I'm proud of you. Yeah, see if we can get them moved in here. So it'll be easier to check them, because of course I say when it's wet, heck, it's wet. It never is not wet this time of year. Get them in this pasture.
I went through the window again.
You came out the window, so let me get him in there, get the door open before he tears something up.
I don't need the door open.
Oh, you don't need the door open? Well, yeah, I'm so proud of you, son. Good job. I kind of hit on how bad this was washing in one of our last videos, and I mean, it should come as no surprise because we're getting big rains. I mean, it's just continuing to wash out. You can see the Jeep's all kind of sideways. But then of course the rain coming down this ditch, you can see it's washed all this debris up here. It gets across this culvert, it's washed it out a time or two. But yeah, we are definitely going to have to do something about making sure the water that comes down through here can stay over there in that ditch. It's not cutting over here. I mean, this is going to get to be a bigger mess until we fix that. Not to keep beating this dead horse, this will be the end of my water engineering talk for this video, but yeah, it's supposed to come through this ditch here, more down through and stay over here. And of course, just much of it that's coming down through there cuts across and goes over there. But anyway, I don't know if that's something that we could get done with a dozer. A track hoe would certainly probably help that, but yeah, I don't know. It's getting to be it is a big problem. It's going to be an even bigger one the longer it goes on. Wind's really picking up. You can see we got a bunch of them. They're filtering up from back there. We just want to be over there. We can get most of them right here. Idea is they'll follow the Jeep, us calling them. There's about 50 of them that we got eyes on, 52 or so. So we can get most of them. They're coming on down the hill there, come on through. Probably gonna have to leave the gate open, because I know it definitely was not all 65 of them right there. Just have to leave it open, see if the others slowly filter this way over the next day or two. Get a head count on them all in this pasture, and then we'll shut the gate. But always a little annoying here early on, in the spring or summer when we first get them, where they don't all move together as one group just real quickly, real easily, I guess. Come on, babies, come on. Woo! Well, that's 42, and then 43 and 44 sitting right there in the gate. So 21 head that are not gonna immediately come through, which was about what I expected, you know, being realistic. Got one being a little spooky. We'll get up here, we will put them some feed in the bunks for these that came on through, and then yeah, just in the next day or two, hope we can get them all counted in here and get the gate shut. So we get up here and get ready to put feed in the bunks. I don't know if you'll be able to see them, but up on that next ridge at the very top, there's 8 or 10, it looks like, that didn't, I guess, yeah, that'd probably be about, because there were like 52 that came up there, and then there were only like 42 that came down the hill, so it's probably those. Yeah, you can get out. We're gonna put a little feed in these bunks. They're all just the other side of the pond here, the 40 or so that came in. Yeah, wish those others would have followed us. I would holler at them, but the wind's coming out of the south. Buddy, I really wish you'd just open the door. But there's 0 chance they can hear me hollering with the wind blowing as hard as it is now at my back. Look at my man helping me get these bunks back in place. Good job, buddy. That one's got a bunch of water in it. That won't work. But, it's going to answer a quick question, maybe not super detailed, just because I don't want to get off talking and rambling. Somebody had commented on last video if we kind of go through the nutrition plan we have for our animals, and just basically like these calves and our cow herd, especially from this time of year, you know, really you might as well say from April through November, you know, ideally even through December, depending on how you do it. It's just grazing, it's grass. Now obviously I say that as I've just dumped some feed out. That's not enough feed, you know, divided out over 65 head to make a difference. That's what we call just some come here feed, just to keep them easy to move pastures, easy to catch, you know, if we have a sick one to treat or something like that. But, you know, ruminant, as the name would imply, having a 4-chambered stomach, is designed to exist on this right here. That's what they do. They convert that's otherwise, you know, useless, certainly to human beings, and they turn it into something valuable in the form of beef. But we obviously keep out a good, appropriate mineral for them. Right now, we are still feeding high magnesium, just on these lush spring grasses. The wind's trying to blow my bags off. And now, see the rain. You can see the clouds. But grass. And then even during the winter time, you know, once the grass has run out, you know, our cow herd, then like our homegrown calves that we're still hanging on to, it's still forage based with hay. We do feed them and supplement a little more of the feed, just because they're not getting quite as much out of the hay, even though it's free choice they went out of grass. Good idea, it's raining. So, but yeah, there you go. Then of course, we do have the feeder steers, and you know, once they get to that point, they are on a 0 forage diet. We're finishing them on corn, gives them that nice good grain or corn flavoring. But we may do a specific video just focused on nutrition. It's more of a talk at some point. I am not a nutritionist. I do really enjoy, you know, forages and diving into them though. But yeah, grass, we're grass farmers. They're converting that grass into beef for us. Well, our afternoon chores came to a screeching halt, as you can see. You may be able to hear. We do have storm sirens, just tornado sirens going off in the distance. Rain is really blowing in, get me wet, but I don't know, we're under a tornado warning currently, so TV on inside looked like it was probably gonna be a little south of us where the worst of it was, but yeah, it's about 3:45. Hope this blows through over the next hour or two and we can get back, because we still got cows we hadn't checked today, but hope it don't blow away, first of all. Finally, the rain has, for all practical purposes, stopped. It's still trying to sprinkle a little, but I don't know how much it rained, but it was inches. We just heard a report that 4-lane highway in town got shut down because of flooding. It's about 6:30 when it started raining. It was about between 3:30 and 4. Those storms really moved in. Thankfully, I think the tornadoes, because we were under a tornado warning for a little while. I think it was just based on radar. I don't know that anybody actually had spotted a funnel cloud. I may be wrong about that, but not seeing any reports of extensive damage, so hopefully that holds true. But finally gonna get back here to check on the cow herd. You know, it's 6:30. We didn't get to check them yesterday. It's getting to be a trend where we're skipping days of laying eyes on the cows, which I do not like. Yesterday we took 2 more steers to the processor. That had me tied up in the early morning hours, and we were so wild and crazy at work, I did not get home for lunch. Then we had a t-ball game that I barely made it to from work, and by the time t-ball game was over with, we got home, it was dark. So we're gonna get eyes laid on the cows, try to rotate their pastures just like we did with those stockers. Just to give you an idea of the wind and the rain, and you're not gonna be able to see it because I can't even really see it, but the seat on the side-by-side has water standing in it, and I mean, it's back, what, 10, 12 feet at least inside the barn, but just the way that rain was blowing in, so looks like I'm gonna have a wet rear end. Actually, I'm gonna put a mineral sack down. Smart. That rain brought a little cold front. You see, I had to put on the sweatshirt. There's water standing and running everywhere. Of course, this creek bottom ground, it's gonna do that pretty much after any bit of rain. But yeah, I don't know. My rain gauge broke. And they didn't have any decent ones at the farm store like a week ago, so I don't have a rain gauge right now. We'll look in the feed buckets up there. It's not a perfect way of measuring it, but we'll get an idea. But no doubt we got inches of rain. They were just based on the radar maps. They were, giving their estimates, and I think someplace they were saying got 3 to 4 inches. So I would not doubt if we got that right here. But cows, right around, look again, we've still got those few stragglers that have not calved yet. Nobody has been looking real close, but yeah, the old buttercup really starting to show up. It's just an eyesore. It's a terrible eyesore if nothing else. Even though it's bloomed, it's kind of done its thing. It'll stick around for just a little while, and then it'll be gone by here within the next month at most. But I hate that stuff. We may go ahead and spray these bottoms next year and just hope not to damage that clover too much. But let's get them checked out. See, Hurricane Creek is up. As I've mentioned before, it never really gets out of its banks anymore, not right here. Thankfully, because as you can see, and you've probably seen some of our drone footage from some other videos, lake right there that feeds the creek, kind of controls how fast the water gets into the creek these days. I'm not old enough to remember before the lake was there, really. Certainly not as far as this property was concerned, but used to. I guarantee you, with the rain like we had today, this whole bottom would have been underwater, and we'd had to deal with it potentially washing out fences and everything else. So we're gonna get driven across here, check them out. Oh, one thing I did want to mention, I always ask y'all to check out the Talk Dirt to Me podcast if you're into that sort of thing. My cousin Logan and I talking just all sorts of things in ag, but he has had a YouTube channel for a while, just hasn't been real active on it. He recently kind of got it fired back up and going. So if you're interested at all in the row crop side of things, cut that off a little quieter, check out LH Farms on YouTube. I'll put a link to that in the description of this video. But yeah, LH Farms, my cousin Logan, doing all sorts of row crop stuff. Been encouraging him to really try to put out some content there, because I think people are interested in that sort of stuff. He gets to operate big, cool machinery that we don't really get to operate though. So let's get across the creek, which it looks like they're all gonna want to come across. Anyway, see how those calves navigate this water. Calves all chasing Sadie. They are feeling their oats. I imagine they're glad it just finally quit raining, which we knew it was coming. And heck, it's April in the South. Like, thunderstorms, even the tornado warnings, that's just, heck, that's a regular old Wednesday for us. But still, the rain was just relentless. Yeah, just wet, soggy, moist, whatever you want to call it. As long as it involves water, it is fitting for us right now. part of the bottom that normally does not hold water. And of course, most of this will run on out of here by morning. But a wet mess. Balloon. Continually amazed at how often I find these out in the pasture. And you know, it seems pretty harmless, and I think most times it probably is. But hey, it's just littering when people let a balloon go. And I know it's probably some little kid that cried, you know, didn't mean to let it go and cried and was distraught that it got away from him. But those things actually pose a bit of a risk potentially to these cattle, because cattle being silly like they are, when I'm coming along, eat on it like they shouldn't, you know, it's not good to have it in the rumen, you know, just anywhere in the GI tract. So I don't know. I'm not going to rant about people littering with balloons, but I would encourage people to at least be aware, like if you do let something like that go, like it doesn't just float off into outer space, never to be seen from again, you know, with zero potential consequence. Where we once had a culvert, obviously, I guess we still do have a culvert. It's just not navigable or passable by any means. But yeah, the creek is up. About half the calves didn't want to cross, so there's a couple of cows on this side. They're a little bit distraught, but it's totally not too high for calves to get across if they want to. Those miles may go back, get them. But yeah, a stormy, nasty day. I may just about wrap it up for this one. Apologize we didn't have more content, but I've been committed, getting 2 videos out a week, and just everything's so wild and crazy at the vet clinic right now. I'm having to work on even what would be my quote-unquote day off, and so worked until about noon. Then of course ran up to the farm store and back. That took a little time, and then, you know, after an hour or two the storms moved in, but got most of kind of what we needed to get done today, which was mainly getting eyes on all these animals because we didn't get to yesterday. But appreciate y'all tuning in. Got a lot of good stuff coming up. We're continuing on with spring grazing. We're wrapping up with the feeder steers. We're gonna still need to get just a few more stockers. I'm not sure. I got to get those hauled from my brother's place over to ours. Got a few other local people that have just a few calves that I think are going to fit what we want, where we're not having to go back to a sale barn. But I don't know. Again, need to do some fertilizing at some point. Right now it's just wet. I mean, it is wet, obviously. I mean, it was wet before we got this rain today. So, but anyway, appreciate y'all watching. Share it. Hey, tell somebody about it. You know, we appreciate that. The channel's really grown here lately. Encourages us to keep putting content out for sure. But yeah, y'all remember, like we always say, eat beef and God bless. Thank you.